Alright, what's going on, guys? It's gonna be a little bit of a mixture video. This video was made last year, back when I picked up the exhaust, but there's so much happening that this car, I got the whole Abarth body kit on there. We are gonna put the Abarth exhaust because why not? So before I do so, and there's also gonna be some surprises coming along the video. Before I do so, I'm gonna get a little cold start with the previous exhaust, the stock one, and then after that, I'll show you guys the loud one. Let's get it. There you have it. There's the cold start. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I got the exhaust. Now after that, it will be the work on the lowering springs, which honestly, guys, it does look super cool. It is about a finger-ish now. So lowering springs is a lot more sicker. It's a lot more dope. I know she's got that dent, and yeah, it's a lot more paint job. It's my mom's car. It's a project car. She's had this car since a long time ago, but that's yeah. Let's go ahead and flip out to the cinema and putting all the work together.
Hey, what you doing back there?
Alright, that's a whole different attempt at a cinematic kind of introduction. No, I did not actually steal this off of a Fiat Abarth. This was actually, I reached out to the guy and he said, yeah, you can have it for free. He also gave us a slew of parts, so let's check out what that is before we actually install this exhaust on my mom's car. Mopar parts obviously. Got a right headlight, he did tell me that. And then in the other big box, I believe it's going to be the other headlight. Yeah, beautiful, well packaged, brand new right front headlight. Is a black bezel. Wow, this thing is literally brand new. So really cool dude. Shout out to him for handing me these parts. You know, he didn't have to, but gave them to me for free. So that was dope. But now back to installing the exhaust on my mom's car. Looks like we got a fellow mechanic over here. Sheesh, why are you coming over here though? Oh god. It's super easy to take it off, just that screw right there, kind of give it a little bang bang and then pop it out like that. Alright guys, so here at my mom's car the next morning. It is morning, not nighttime, but some good news and bad news, and I'll overplay this, is that this vehicle does not have the double hinge. So I guess that's a cool thing about the pop, learning the differences. So instead of going with this one, I do plan on maybe going on later on with the Neospeed single exit exhaust for hers. Before we get into how I did that and all the exhaust work, I want to briefly say that today we're basically going to be using a size 19 bolt up here. Then it's a size 19 over there and a size 5 Allen to hold it up here. Down here in the strut area, these bolts are a 17. The sway bar end link is a 16. It's a 5 as well to hold it down so you can twist it off. In my previous videos where I did coilovers on my car, it was kind of just me pointing out to things real quick and doing the work, getting it done. There is another video that I'll link in the description below if you want a full detail on how to take these apart, and including the rears, how to take those apart, all the struts, everything, get it all done, swap them out if you ever wanted to do a swap, either coilovers or anything on your Fiat 500 or Fiat Abarth. This is a Fiat 500. Sadly, my mom's already getting some dingers in there, but it is what it is. This thing still needs some paint. Obviously, she's a little dirty, but this is going to be a lot of fun trying to get this broken apart. So the car is going to be lowered on lowering springs. That was a little surprise. And those lowering springs were previously on my 2015 Fiat 500. So we'll see right now we have maybe about a 3-finger gap. And with the HNR lowering springs, maybe we'll get about a 2-finger gap. Kind of just closing it down just a little bit to not give that monster truck ride height. I mean, look at the space on the floor here. I believe my car is only 4 fingers off the ground now that I have coilovers. But enough of me talking. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do the exhaust, maybe some clips here and there of us putting on the lowering springs on this one. So just like that, you got the 5 holding it kind of wedged against the frame right there, and this is supposed to be a 19. They do sell socket tools, but we are cheap boys here, so we're gonna keep doing this until it comes off. All right, so recap of this one real quick. You're gonna need a 15 to hold it down, the main hat, and then for this one right here, you're gonna need a 17. So that's the one you're gonna be cranking it. I got the 17 right there, 15 right there. Crank it off. It is, I know it's the most wonkiest way to hold this thing down, but it's gonna hold the shock together. We're gonna get this off, and then after that, install those lowering springs on there. Just a quick side-by-side comparison to our OEM strut springs. Basically, this thing's springed all the way out, and then you have this one right here, HNR lowering springs. These were on my Fiat when I bought the car, so my car was already lowered basically from factory, but essentially you'll be getting about 1 loop less, and it's much tighter right there. That's what creates the lower spring effect. In case if anybody didn't know how lowering springs work, that's basically what it is. This one is springed all the way out. You can see how bony it is, and then this one is basically coiled down right here nice and tight, so that makes it much smaller than that one, giving it probably a good 2-inch drop. My car was pretty low, and just like that, guys, we got everything off. Basically it was a size 15, and then what I did was I jacked the side of the car. Since the front end is done, these should just slip right out. So then after that, we're going to install lowering springs, but before we do everything and button everything back up, we're going to start taking apart the exhaust to get this big tank out of here. So right, guys, so this led me the only option to get this big old tank out of here. Basically got the old hanger out, and the plan is, not in this video, maybe in a later, I'm gonna do something to make that Abarth one fit. Got the 15 out, and this thing, oh, it's a big old hunk of chunk. So let's get the Abarth exhaust, mock it up. Good thing I got this all taken off. You can see where it just comes up out of. And with the Abarth exhaust, I'm going to stick it in and see exactly where we need to put it at. Just so that way, either I got to cut this and put the Abarth axle to the front pipe. And just like that, I wish I can say it's done. It looks kind of good. 3-finger over here. This is just honestly a mock-up. I do have to get some hangers to do this 100%, but the exhaust that it came off of was actually a turbo, and that exhaust is going to go down here, right? So right at that bend, looks like that's where I got to cut it and then clamp it together, so that way I can get rid of this big old ugly thing. And then I have to get a exhaust hanger there, so everything's hung up. Obviously, hence the name hanger. Probably like tuck this guy as far as possible. So definitely gonna need some hangers soon. Alright, so that's gonna be it for today's video. comment down below, like, share. This is super cool to have a Fiat 500 Pop transformed into a Fiat 500 Abarth. No, it is not a full Abarth. I'm not saying that. But man, this little baby purrs. Got the side skirts of the sports. Got a nice little lowering look. Even up to the top right over there. You got yourself a beautiful little spoiler. Wow, this one's starting to crack in the sun. But that's alright. As always, guys, stay safe and stay chill. Give it a tap.
That's my car. I thought that was his.
How do you feel about it?